and you have to be moving it a lot.
What the actual walk?
The actual walk, yeah. See, what happens is you can't use a spoon at this point because they're really soft. You'll just break them apart. So you have to move the whole walk a bit.
They're on the bottom.
Yeah. And if you leave them without moving them from the bottom, then they'll get stuck, obviously. It's useless.
He's using some detergent powder.
Huh?
Like a detergent powder.
Whose ghee is this?
Not sure.
Don't publish this video. I'm bad mouthing this person's ghee.
Oh, you're so famous. These videos are everywhere.
If you put this one up, you have to crop it. Get it?
Everyone in UK is watching it.
Well, in that case, I definitely won't say whose ghee it is. I know whose ghee it is. Don't want to badmouth it too. It's terrible. I'm trying to sell it.
used to do it at a time.
How much
I
you pay
can
for
do.
this container?
He's expert on
I don't know actually. I don't know anything about the prices. Let's see. Office notes.
He's expert on that.
Could you give me the spatula there? Oh boy, it's 12:30. We're gonna have a late lunch today, guys. Sorry.
Well, now.
I don't know what to do. I don't even know.
You want to take this bigger one with the holes?
Maybe you can use.
А что случилось?
Запенилась гель.
Это плохо, да?
Плохой гель.
Okay, so anyway, what happens now is that if you continue frying this slowly, then you're meant to see what's going on first of all, and then they'll eventually float up. When they float, then you can then touch them with the spatula. They won't break once they start floating. Once they're fully fried, the proper color, you put them into the syrup, the first syrup. Just for the syrup has to be hot. After this hot syrup, just for a couple seconds, they start to sink to the bottom of the syrup. Then you take them out and put them to the thick syrup. So basically, what's happening is that this is very hot. So you're not going from frying temperature to cold temperature. It's like an in between. So it'll prevent them from collapsing, one. And then the thin syrup is so that it penetrates inside the gulab quickly. It immediately goes in, then you put it into thick syrup, and then it'll slowly soak. No, it's not the fire. This is perfect. It's just I can't see what's going on inside.
Yeah.
I think the ghee was a bit hot. They should fry for about 4 to 5 minutes, one batch.
Size is too small. Why?
Expand. They will expand.
No, they won't expand anymore. These don't expand very much. Like I said, I like the size. If you don't like the size of Bananda, then you make it a different size. That is fine. I'm not going to tell you what size to make your gulags if you're going to make gulab. If you notice, see the cracks? That's what happens. They just end up looking a little bit ugly. They should be perfectly smooth on the outside. But that's all right. It's like I said, it's not actually a problem. It's just the looks of them.
If, say, for example, I was making it, there was loads of cracks all the time, is it because there's maybe not enough water?
That's also possible. To make it easier for yourself, then you add a little bit extra water. But the problem with adding a little extra water, then you won't get the consistency that you want. So the trick is to know how to roll them with as little water as possible. I put a really little amount of water. But you can put more, it'll still work. It's just the consistency will change just slightly. Okay, where is that? Yeah. What happens when these are fried too quickly, then the inside stays a little bit raw. There's two ways of preventing it. One is you have the big Bombay chini, the big Bombay sugar. They call it Bombay sugar. It's just a very big, large size sugar. You put it inside. And what happens is it just prevents the middle from remaining raw and not fried. That's one trick. The other thing people use is cardamom seeds. So put a cardamom seed inside, and it'll also prevent the middle from remaining raw.
What's it from?
Cardamom seeds?
Elaichi.
Which?
Ek dana.
And the thin syrup should be boiling that.
It doesn't need to be boiling, but it should be quite hot. Could you give me another one of these? Okay. Same problem as last year. Oh, they're collapsing. I'm not sure why. They're collapsing. It's the same koa as last year as well. Look into my supplier. Well, last year what I figured out is that I actually left them for the next day, and then I boiled them, and then from the boiling they expanded again. If that happens to you, it's a number of issues. Like I explained in the other class, and while we were sitting down, is that the koa itself, there's something wrong with the koa itself. The corn flour is mixed. Fortunately, we are in India, and it usually doesn't happen. I've used this corn flour before, not a problem. The koa as well, I've had the same supplier for years, and I've never had any problem with him. But every so often it does happen.
So what about happens in your assessment when you do it? Did anyone do it last year?
Nobody did gulabs. But if you do plan to do gulabs, they're not so bad actually. They're not as bad as last year what we did. They'll probably get harder though. So what we'll do, I'll just put them straight into the thick one, and let's see how that works. I think it'll be about the same. All right. So does that make sense with the? If you have pure ingredients, if you have pure koa, and if you have proper corn syrup and proper maida, if you follow that recipe, it works every time. I'll work it out. Let's see what happened. I'll work it out with the rest of them. I'll fry it separately while you guys are cooking. So that's that for now. All right, so let's get to the shukta real quick. All right.